Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Ifunanya. So I'll try to make this a very quick one. I hope I can make it a quick one. I like to do this before I start my day and before they take this light. So Ifunanya has dropped more updates, and just like I promised, as discussed in the previous video, I'm back here with the things that impacted me or the things that got to me in her videos. I think she has dropped up to part 17 now. First of all, if you've noticed, there are other takes here and there, especially coming from people who are either village people, family members, and people who are like minds with their family members. We already know that where there is good, bad will also exist. The bad is proof that good exists, and vice versa. So there are people who have the same mindset with these people that did this evil thing to their brother. So most of them are already beginning to come up with a lot of defense, trying to rationalize what happened. And what I can say is, thank God Ifunanya properly documented this thing with videos. Just imagine that even though there are videos, people are still trying to discredit the things she's saying, trying to deflect, trying to turn our attention to what is not our business. Coming up with things like, where is the mother? Where is that? Where are the sisters? Where is all that trash? So basically, dysfunctional people will try to gaslight you, will try to confuse you, will try to make you doubt yourself. But Ifunanya and her dear Holy Spirit are very ready for them. So back to some of the things that were said in the videos, the videos that just came out. Her uncle, the Gabriel, the one abroad, actually brought the fight to the US. The things they did to him in Nigeria was not enough. Came to the US where they kept him in a home where he was going through physiotherapy and all of that, and came to make him sign some stuff. And the guy signed it. That's the part that beats me. He signed it without looking, but thank God what he did was it's kind of null and void in the long run. That wasn't enough. He moved for full guardianship. Since he couldn't get that power of attorney that is really sweeting him, went for full guardianship. That one too didn't work. I'm going to paste what full guardianship entails on the screen so that you see how mean these people can be. For a man whose immediate family is still alive, who has children, his siblings, one of his siblings has the guts to move for full guardianship. It was stated in the court documents that he wants to take his brother back to Nigeria. That's another part that I don't get. What exactly is it that they kept in his house in Nigeria that they're trying to drag him back to? Why would somebody escape all of that, come to the US where he's being taken care of, and you want to drag him back? I don't get it. Also, his uncle, there's this letter that surfaced from, I think, Facebook or one of those social media handles. The Uncle Peter, the one in Abuja, that one that connived with them and lied when he was called while Ifunanya was in the village. The one that lied that brother Peter was with him and that he went out. And when he comes back, he'll give him the phone. He's the very one that posted this letter. I'll put the two faces of the letter on the screen for you to see. But basically, he was just trying to discredit his brother, calling up ancient history that doesn't even correlate with the inhumane experience, or is it the maltreatment that he went through in the hands of his siblings. Talking about how it was difficult for him to get married. He had a late start in marriage. He couldn't get a good wife, blah 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 blah. His wife, the first baby died because he prayed. Nothing is just making sense. And how he was a drunk, and how there was no money, and all of that and all of that. There was no money, and the house was being built right beside his mansion. Talking about how Ifunanya just wants to spend the daddy's money, how she stopped sending the pension back to the village, or whatnot. So does this explain why you refuse to allow the first daughter of a man access into the man's compound and lied about the whereabouts of the man? We saw videos of the doors locked. They refused her access. They threw sand, stone at her. They had to go and look for hammer at some point. There's even at some point we saw ladder just to be able to gain access into the place and see the man. Does this explain all of that? It doesn't even make sense. They're just trying to find a way to flip the script, try to make it about his immediate family dynamics, whether his family loved him, whether he loved his family, whether his wife was is divorced. Those things do not explain the treatment that his family gave to him. Let's stick to the facts. Let's stick to what this is about. What they should be, the questions they should be answering is, why the lies? Why were you guys hiding him? What were what were you people hiding? What was all that hiding for? Why the hiding? Why all the lies? That is what we want to know. And then why was he that emaciated? Why wasn't he being taken care of? And that brings me to this auntie. I'll put her on the screen with her handle and her face. The things she was saying, I think she's from that village or she has some inside information, but she's clearly on the side of his siblings, claiming that they've been the one taking care of him, that why didn't the children follow their daddy back to Nigeria, that's trying to make it look like he was an old man that was coming back, so he needed someone to take care of him. Thank God Ifunanya filmed the daddy on the very day he left the US for Nigeria. I'm going to put that on the screen.
My father, back in 2019, moved to Nigeria, moved to Anambra in particular, to basically live out his Igbo boy dreams. He had built a house, he had worked for New York City for 25 years, and he was retiring on time, he was retiring healthy, and he just wanted to go back home and be with his family, live in his home that he had literally suffered and toiled for, being in America all this while. I respected it, and I felt like him moving to Nigeria would obviously, you know, create a new chapter in his life, especially after retirement. And so we welcomed it with, you know, open arms, and I was literally there to send him off when he was flying. And after that,
the daddy was on his 2 feet, moving his luggage, and waved bye-bye. That was not a man that needed special care. Then he gets to the village and suddenly gets a stroke after a couple of years, and then you people lock him up and refuse anybody to be able to talk to him on the phone or somebody to gain access when they finally show up to see him. That is what we want to know. Why did all of that happen? And that auntie from their village or wherever she's from, who is defending the siblings, I don't think she has watched the evidence. That's what I realized. She never see the evidence, because some of the things she's even saying is out of place. She didn't take her time to sit down and watch all of Ifunanya's videos. She didn't see the very moment we saw the daddy for the first time. There was nothing neat or good about that video. And sometimes I find myself wishing she even came in with a camera the very first time she clocked her daddy with her eyes. You know, she didn't film that one. What we saw was when she now came back with the police and all of that. By then, I'm sure they moved him to a bed and all of that, anticipating if there's a prison break, if they get to see their brother, at least it won't be so bad. Because what she described, for the very first time she was seeing him, he was on the floor, covered in all sorts of rubbish that she cannot even fathom. So that one, we don't have any video for that particular moment. But the one we still saw was bad enough, because when I saw that very one, the way he was looking on the bed, tears came out of my eyes. I don't even know him. So there is nothing that these people are going to say that justifies all that they did to this guy. I don't think. What they should be crafting is an apology, not all this defense and all these gimmicks they're playing. It's not gonna work. It's not before that when I don't know what is happening in the olden days, but maybe we can see through what they're doing, and we can tell, we can see their evil intentions. We can smell them a mile away. So they're not fooling anyone. The people that they are fooling are not even, they are very, very minute, negligible amount of the population. So you should help me tell that auntie the whereabouts of the wife or ex-wife, as the case may be, and the rest of the children is not important in this matter. In this very story that we've heard so far about a young girl who shows up to do a welfare check and finds out that the daddy is in trouble and starts making effort to rescue him. The whereabouts of the wife or the ex-wife has nothing to do with this story. It's not part of it. People are trying to throw us off from the matter. It's not part of the story. Maybe the day the ex-wife or the day Mr. Peter himself tells the story, that might now become part of the gist. But in this Ifunanya story, it's not part of the story. One thing that is apparent though is the sibling rivalry, just as discussed in my first video. The way, what's this his name now? Chris described his brother. Doesn't sound like a person that likes his brother very much. Describing him as a drunk, describing him as someone who, the way he described him, you'll be surprised that he was able to go to the US, make money, build a mansion, raise a family. He would have loved to describe him as one efulefu that doesn't know his left from his right. Only God knows whether that's how they see him. That's why they're trying to get guardianship, do power of attorney, just like he can't even think for himself. It's apparent they don't really like him. It's clear they didn't like his choice of a wife. It's clear that they mock how the thing turned out, like there was a divorce or something. I don't know. They don't like him. They don't like his guts. It's very clear. They don't like his guts. They don't like his wife's guts. They don't like the guts of his children. One thing I also noticed is that Nigerian internet FBIs, they know how to work overtime. They have gone and dug up pictures and info about Ifunanya's extended family members. I'm going to be dropping some of the ones I saw on the screen for you guys to see. So there seems to be no hiding place for them, and it looks like when you see rumors in comment section, at the end of the day it's proven right, because I remember seeing one of the comment sections that the auntie Josephine is dead. That was way before Ifunanya completed the story to the part where she has now told us that that auntie, that very auntie that was the queen of the coast in charge of this operation, she's dead. She died some years back while the court case was ongoing. And yes, just like I anticipated, the court case was not going to be an easy one. It wasn't exactly an easy ride, because she kept coming from the US like almost every month for these court cases. There's also this auntie's take. There's this lady I'll put on the screen too. I like her take on the matter, because she was trying to say that things might not at the end of the day turn out the way we expect, because our traditional setting beliefs, our culture have a way of interrupting some of the time. That's very possible that at the end of the day, with all that is happening, Ifunanya's dad might prevail on her to not only quit, but also even apologize to his siblings for peace to reign. Now, most of the time in our family dynamics in this part of the world, you see people putting appearance over reality, appearance over accountability. So people run amok in their wild ways just because nobody wants to call them out and disgrace the family. So they rather preserve appearances than call out abuse or call out bad behavior. And if in fact, I don't think it's in their hands anymore. That's the way I see it, because now it's in the public eye. So I doubt very much if they'll be able to twist that story or bring it down, and I don't know. But let me know what you think. Let me know what you think in the comment section. What do you think? Do you think the family will be able to prevail on her to recant some of the things she has said, or bring down the videos, or stop all of this? let me know what you guys think. And right now I don't even know I don't know what will happen next. I can't even begin to guess, but I know that the story is far from over. She's not done telling the story, so we'll be waiting for her to drop more of the gist. And when she does, as always, I'll be right back here if there's something worth talking to you guys about in what happens next. So if you have anything similar to this that's happened to you and you'd like to share, let us know in the comments. If you have more information than I do about this, let's also know in the comments. And if you know anyone who would like to see this video, please share, and also like this video if you enjoyed watching. And if you've not subscribed, please subscribe. And I'll see you all again in my next video. Bye, and thank you for watching.